All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into Qwen AI. It's this incredibly powerful new model suite from Alibaba, and trust me, it's making some serious waves in the AI world. So let's just get right into it.
So you know ChatGPT, you know the major players, but in AI, things move at lightning speed. And the real question on everyone's mind is, who's next? Well, I think Qwen might just be the answer we're looking for. And it's not just another chatbot. This thing is a genuine powerhouse with a completely different playbook.
Okay, so first up, let's meet Qwen AI. We're going to start with the basics. Who's making this thing and how did it just burst onto the scene so fast?
And when I say fast, I mean fast. Qwen's rise has been nothing short of meteoric. Look at this. It launches in beta in April 2023, and just 5 months later, it's out for the public. By 2024, they're already dropping their second and third gen models. This isn't just a project, it's an absolute sprint to the top.
Okay, so let's peek under the hood. At its core, Qwen is built on the same engine as basically all the other big AI models out there, the transformer architecture. Think of it as the foundational blueprint for modern AI. It's what lets these models get the difference between the cat sat on the mat and the mat sat on the cat. It's all about context. But this is pretty much where the similarities stop.
So let's get into what makes Qwen so different. We're going inside the architecture. The engineers behind this made some seriously smart moves that give it a huge edge, especially when it comes to performance and efficiency.
All right, now don't let the technical terms scare you, but at the heart of Q&R are a few key innovations. Let's break them down. You've got grouped query attention. Think of that as batching questions to a panel of experts instead of asking them one by one. It's just way, way faster. Then there's rotary positional embeddings, or RoPE. That's the secret sauce that helps the AI know that dog bites man is very different from man bites dog. It's all about word order. And finally, Swiglu activation functions, which basically just helps the model learn better. The takeaway here is simple. All these fancy terms boil down to one goal, making the AI smarter and faster without needing a supercomputer to run it.
In that obsession with efficiency, it leads us to this monster number, 128,000. That's the token context length for most Qwen models. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it's like the AI having a perfect photographic memory for an entire 300-page book. You can just hand it a massive report and ask questions about the whole thing in one go. For anyone doing deep research, this is an absolute game changer.
Okay, here's another really cool part of Qwen's design. It's called Mixture of Experts, or MOE for short. And the analogy is perfect. Imagine you have a medical issue. You could go to a general doctor who knows a little bit about everything. Or you could go to a hospital with a team of specialists, a cardiologist, a neurologist, a surgeon. When your problem comes in, it gets routed to the exact right expert for that specific job. That's what MOE does.
So here's the play-by-play. Your query, your question, comes in. Then a smart router inside the system acts like a dispatcher. It looks at your question and says, aha, this is a coding problem, and sends it to the coding expert. That specialized part of the model gets to work, and boom, you get a super accurate answer. And the real magic? It only used a tiny fraction of the model's total brain power to do it. This is exactly how they can have a massive 235 billion parameter model that runs so efficiently.
Right, so we've seen the core tech, but Qwen it isn't just one single AI. It's a whole toolkit, an entire ecosystem of specialized tools. And this is a huge part of their strategy, so let's dig into what's in the box.
So no matter what you do, there is probably a Qwen model for you. Are you a programmer? Qwen-Coder's got your back. It's been trained on a mind-boggling amount of code. A mathematician? Qwen Math is your guy. Need to understand images or video? Qwen-VL. Audio? Yep. There's one for that too. They even have one that generates things like meeting minutes. It's all about using the right specialized tool for the job, which just means you get way better results.
And this right here is probably Qwen's secret weapon, their dual-track approach to access. On one hand, you've got the standard proprietary API. Big businesses who want a managed plug-and-play solution can just pay for it through Alibaba. Easy. But on the other hand, and this is huge, they have open-source models. This means developers, researchers, anyone can download these incredibly powerful models and run them locally. You get total control, total privacy, and endless customization. It's the best of both worlds. So with this unique strategy in mind, it's time for the main event. Let's put Qwen in the ring and see how it stacks up against the heavyweights, GPT-4, Gemini, and Llama. How does it really compare? Okay, just look at this chart for a second. It tells you everything you need to know about efficiency. On the left, you've got Meta's Llama model, a beast, at 405 billion parameters. On the right, Qwen, and nearly half that size. And yet, Qwen actually scores a tiny bit better on performance benchmarks. It is literally doing more with less. And that's a direct payoff from that clever mixture of experts design we were just talking about.
So when you lay it all out like this, Qwen's game plan really snaps into focus. Against the closed-source giants like OpenAI's GPT-4, their big weapons are open-source access and much, much lower costs. Against another open-source player like Meta's Llama, they compete on being more efficient and having all those specialized models ready to go. And of course, for anything involving the Chinese language, their performance is just unbeatable. It's a really smart, multi-pronged attack.
And then there's the price tag. Let's just let this number sink in for a moment. 1/10. They're offering performance that's in the same ballpark as GPT-4 for reportedly 1/10 of the API cost. For any business or developer building an AI app, that's not just a small saving, that is a massive, incredibly compelling reason to make the switch. It could completely rewrite the economics of the entire space.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But how do you actually get started with it? Well, there's a really clear path from being a complete beginner to a total pro in the Qwen world. Let's walk through it.
So, you can start simple. Just download the free Qwen Chat app and start asking it questions. Play around with it. Then you can level up by learning how to write better prompts, getting more out of the AI. From there, if you're a builder, you can start integrating it into your own apps using their API, which is super easy because it's compatible with OpenAI's. And finally, for the true masters, you can download the open source models, run them yourself, and build completely custom autonomous agents. It's this awesome ladder that anyone can climb. And finally, we have to talk about the future. Because with technology this powerful, you can't just talk about the cool features. You have to address the power and the ethics that come along with it.
And this is really the two-sided coin of any powerful AI. The promise is just incredible, right? Unprecedented efficiency, creativity, access to knowledge for everyone. But the other side of that coin, the peril, is just as real. These models learn from the internet, from us. So they can inherit all of our worst biases, they can be used to generate misinformation, and of course, there are huge questions about data privacy.
And these aren't just problems for engineers to solve. They're questions for all of us. You have to ask, who sees my data? How is it being used? Is this AI accidentally amplifying unfair biases that already exist in society? And what happens when the AI is wrong, but sounds super confident about it? Who's responsible then? These are the tough, but absolutely essential conversations we need to be having. And that brings us to the final, really provocative question. Qwen is making a massive bet. A bet that the future of AI won't be won by raw power alone. It'll be won by access, by making that power available to everyone. Their whole strategy of combining elite performance with a real commitment to open source, it's a direct challenge to the status quo. So the question is, will open access, not just raw power, be what truly decides the future of AI? It's a fascinating thought, and honestly, I can't wait to see how it plays out.